Sit. This is Simon. In this video, we're going to go over, you're offering a little bit of a paw. Well, we'll reward that too. I'm not usually a big fan of rewarding the shake, but since you're being a good dog and engaging, we're going to do that. In this video, we're going to teach you how you can teach your dog to go to a dog bed on command. Now, there's 3 dogs that live in this house. They're all rescue dogs. Awesome for the guardians to rescue the dogs, and the dogs have some issues, some confidence issues. Now, what I wanted to do is I wanted to achieve the ability to move the dogs around without having to physically interact with them. One of the things I talk to the guardians about is incorporating some rules. When we have dogs that are rescue dogs, we often think that a lack of rules is going to make them feel better because we think of rules as a negative. But a lack of rules actually can cause dogs to feel a little insecure because they feel like I have to handle everything myself because there's nobody in charge. Simon! And so what we're going to do is if, one of the rules would be if Simon here says one of his buddies has a bone, and Simon gets, let's say the other dog's wearing his glasses, and Simon gets over here, this is my way of saying I want this bone by a dog, by invading the dog's personal space. Dogs have 3 spaces. Intimate space is a 3-foot bubble around the dog. 3 feet to 11 feet is considered social space. Anything beyond social space is considered, beyond 11 feet is considered public space. Just like us, dogs are more particular who gets closer to us. So if a dog has a bone and Simon comes over here and he's standing next to the dog, he's trying to intimidate that dog to get the bone. That can cause a fight. So one of the things I recommend the guardian do is have multiple dog beds in the house in multiple locations. So we're going to call this one Hawaii, and I'm just going to demonstrate with here, but I would recommend there's also a dog bed probably behind the couch the way this house is laid out, or one in the other room. So that way, if Simon is right here, and there's a dog that's got a bone, and Simon's right here, I can say Jamaica, maybe Jamaica goes to the dog bed behind the couch. We're going to teach the dog the same technique I'm going to show you here with Jamaica. So now Simon, instead of coveting this bone, gets up and walks away and goes to the other dog's bed. Now the way to do this is you want to have a whole bunch of treats, and you want to have a dog bed that is light colored, no pattern. Dogs' eyes are not very good for detail or for color. They're great for movement. So I'm going to be throwing these treats. So I like either a light gray, a white, or a light cream. So the contrast of seeing a treat like this one is pretty easy to see. Simon. So what I do, I'm just going to throw the treat on the dog bed. Well, you got to see it, silly. Hawaii. I'm going to wait for him to vacate, then I throw another one. Hawaii. So you want to say the word right before the treat goes in the mouth. See how he's staying on there? And that's okay. If he stays there for a longer than like 20 seconds, I'd probably give him another treat. I'm trying to get him going back and forth, but if he's lingering, that's kind of one of the things we're looking for. So I can, in this case, I'm going to ask for an SAT. Sit. Hawaii. I should have said Hawaii first. I'm going to show him that I have a treat. Hawaii. So I would, and there we go. Hawaii. Now, this is a fine dog bed. I prefer to get ones that are more like a sofa cushion so there's no indention. Because sometimes like there's a treat there, he can't see it because it's in the crevice. That's why I prefer the ones that's all white color. There we go. Hawaii? Hawaii. So I'm not going to let him leave. As soon as he leaves, before he does, I throw another treat in. Hawaii. Hawaii. Now, what I would recommend that each dog has its own dog bed, but in my experience, dogs are going to share dog beds, and these dogs like to share which we like. So I would probably try to start with each dog its own dog bed, but I would teach each dog, this one is Hawaii, that one is Cuba, that one's Jamaica, that one's Mexico, or whatever if you're using a southern below the border motif. So I'm going to keep on throwing these treats to get the dog to go there, and I'm saying Hawaii right before he licks them up. I know I didn't do it there. Let's do it a little more. Hawaii. There you go. He licks up the treat. So this is the first of 3 ways that I can motivate a dog to get there by throwing the treat. Second way is I would kind of distract the dog and then leave a treat there without him seeing me leave one there. And so now if you've done about 20 of these in a row, the dog's going to start looking for one. Let's see if he figures this one out. This is not as many treats I'd like to do, but let's see. So I'll just keep on talking. We'll see. There we go. So and that's what I mean about having it Hawaii, so he could see it. I didn't think he saw it because of the crevice. So you can also get like a white sheet or towel, put it on top of that. The problem is that also bunches up. So the first way I do it is I toss a treat and let the dog see me toss the treat. Second way I do it is I leave a treat and don't point it out, Hawaii. Just observe it, and when he was about to lick it up, say the word. The third way I do it is sit, Hawaii. And so I'm going to lure him there and put him into a sit or a down and then give him a treat. So these are 3 ways to entice him to go there. The next step, and we'll see if he does this, is if you've done this enough, the dog just kind of starts gravitating and hanging out where the treats are. He probably isn't going to do it here. So what I would do then is when he goes there on his own volition, then I throw a treat. So at first we're throwing the treats to motivate him to want to go here, and we're marking a command word, so we can call it a sit, white. We're identifying what the command word is. Eventually we want to, so we're kind of doing it as a bribe. Eventually it becomes a payment. So at first we throw the treat to elicit the response. After a while we get the response, and that response receives a payment. So my instructions for the guardians is I would grab probably about 20 treats for the first time you do this, and I would want you to do it with each dog separately. So grab Simon, have the dogs outside like he is now, come over here and throw the treat. He gets it. As soon as he walks away, throw another treat. So I try to throw it so quickly that he doesn't even get 2 feet away. And for a lot of dogs, very quickly, they just start sitting and lying down there. And then you can start delaying the duration of the interval between the treats. So I would do that for all 20 treats. Then I would put him outside and bring the next dog in and do the same thing. After a while, the dog bed's going to smell like those treats. It makes it easier for the dogs to go there. And then I'd put that dog after 20 treats, bring the last dog in, and then Abby does it, and Abby gets those 20 treats. And I'm going to watch now. I have a treat ready, so if he goes there, it's going to rain treats. Oh. Another reason why that thing is not ideal, because it's a great bounce, but it bounces off of the dog bed. Personally, one of my things that I love my dog doing is seeing all my dogs sleep together. Away. So I would get an extra large of the jumbo one. That way, and that way you have one with a light contrast color where you can get 2 or 3 dogs there, and the treats will stick there a little bit easier. So I would do this one for all 3 dogs, and then next time you do it, like a couple hours later, then maybe you have another dog bed right here, and do the same thing with this, and with a different name for this dog bed, and cycle through all 3 dogs with 20 treats. The last one is I would do the one behind the couch or in the other room, wherever it is, again with a different name. So when you're doing this, the dogs are just going to start checking those out, and as long as the dogs are not having problems where they're fighting over treats, when you're sitting on the couch, you can kind of have a small bundle of treats in maybe your hoodie pocket, and as soon as one dog goes over there, you just start throwing the treats, and the dog starts going over there. So now, let's say that I'm Simon, I'm Abby, and I've got a bone, and I'm really into it, and Simon comes up and he's staring at me right here. Well, we can now say Jamaica, and that means go to the dog bed behind the couch. So instead of staring and coveting this bone, Simon gets up and walks away and goes somewhere else. So it's a great way to redirect your dog's attention without having to physically move them, and you're getting the dog to do the work. Now, when your dog is encroaching on the other dog, don't wait for the dog to get right up here close to it, because they're usually going to start here, then they're going to shuffle over a little bit here. They're going to gradually get themselves closer and closer. So as soon as you notice he's doing it, with one of the dogs has a covetable item, like a bone or a special toy or something like that, it could also be an elevated position. Then you want to give that dog the command to go over there. And the nice thing on the couch, if you're sitting on the couch, you just pull one of these things out and just drop it right behind the couch, and it's going on the Jamaica bed. Point of reference, I find that Groupon is one of the best places to get dog beds. They're the cheapest. I like to get the Sealy Posturepedic ones. It's not actually Sealy, but it's just they license it. But again, if you get one that's like a cushion, no pattern, light cream, light gray, or white, are the best dog beds. All right, Simon, we're going to Hawaii. It's right there. Yeah, you knew I was fooling you, didn't you? Hawaii. Simon, sit. And that's funny because his name is Simon. Simon, sit. This is my buddy Simon waving at me, and these are some tips and tricks you can use if you want to teach a dog to go to a dog bed.